The Parallel Universe. I'm your host, Logan Bruce, and in the Square Table Studios via the internet, I have my friend Jey Odin. Jey Odin, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's there's been a lot of stuff that's happened since the last time we got to talk. So thank you again for having me on.
Oh man, my pleasure. Thanks for being willing to come, man. It's always good to have someone from Saturday AM here on the Parallel Universe. It's good to talk with you. So, we're just going to get right into it. So, for those who may not know you, because they may not have seen the other podcasts, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, and a little bit about Saturday AM.
Yeah, my name is Jey Odin. I go by Jey Odin online anyway. I'm the creator of Hammer, which is a series that is currently being serialized and published in the world's most diverse manga anthology, Saturday AM. My volume 5 just released. If you can
Yes.
see the screen, this is this is it. This makes over 1,000 pages, or at least 1,000 pages. I think it's over 1,000 pages now of Hammer, which is a great milestone. But yeah, I've worked on several different titles. The Rick and Morty manga, volume 1 came out, I think, when my volume 4 of Hammer came out. I've worked on other projects with Oni Press. My very first series came out with Antarctic Press back in like 2011, 2010. So, I've been in the game for a while now, and I just keep on drawing. I'm very excited for the future, and I'm currently working on a lot of other stuff. I currently have a lot of ebooks online that like kind of teach people how to draw, a few courses. I also have this comic idea that I'm doing independently called Life Agent. So that's all on my Gumroad, which I'll give you the links and you can send that in. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. My wife and I just had a baby, so that's I guess some personal information.
Congratulations. Yeah,
But
well,
thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
so that's me. That's who I am, and yeah.
Okay, man, that's great. So do you other than Hammer, are you guys doing anything else? Anything else with Saturday AM? I know you mentioned you had something that you're doing independently. So are you guys doing anything together with Saturday AM for another series other than Hammer? I mean, you got something else coming out with Saturday AM?
So there are a few things that are in the works. That I'll be helping on. It's not necessarily my series, but nothing is set in stone right now, so I can't really like elaborate. But what I can tell you is, if everything works out the way we want it to, there'll be a lot of different like books that'll come out from us, and it'll be very, very fun, very interesting. All the stories that I've heard, I've really liked. But again, like nothing is completely set in stone yet. Obviously, we haven't announced any of that, so I can't really get into too much detail. But what I can
Okay.
say is, for everybody that likes comics and manga, I mean, especially if you like Saturday AM, I'm positive that you'll like what we have coming in the future.
Well, that's great. That is so great, man. Oh, yeah, because I'm a big fan of Saturday AM, and a lot of the creators I've had the opportunity to meet. Some of them are wonderful people, and
Thank
I love their style of writing, and like you said, it's diverse. I think that's what I love about it. So it's not just this one kind of a package deal or a cookie cutter type anthology. You got everybody's input and their experiences, and it comes out in their writing. And I absolutely love that, because it's different. So each time you pick up something from Saturday AM, it's not going to be the same, you know.
Correct.
So
One hundred
it,
percent. One
it's,
hundred percent. And like, I mean, just to piggyback off of that, yeah, it's great to see other walks of life and their experiences within the manga medium. Obviously, I am from New Orleans. I'm a young black kid from New Orleans. So I mean, but with that said, Hammer obviously doesn't like represents a young black kid in New Orleans. But just having my the way I saw manga and trying to make it like a cartoony manga and all that, like that's what I try to bring to it. But I know that there are a lot of other people from around the world. We have this one guy from uh I think it's I know we have people from Nigeria, Niger, I think Zimbabwe is what I'm thinking about. The guy that created Orisha. and that is a great manga. It's coming out soon. I actually just got an early copy of it. Artwork is amazing, and it's great to like just read another perspective that you probably wouldn't see in traditional manga. So I really like that aspect of Saturday.
That's so cool, man. Um, so in your experiences with Saturday AM, just tell us how that they are different, other than what you've already mentioned, than someone that you work with, like you said. You said press. I can't remember who you said you worked with before.
Oh yeah. I used to work with my very first title was called Chicken Fight, and that came out with Antarctic Press back in 2010, 2011. And like the difference between Saturday AM and Antarctic Press is, I'm not, I'm not trying to badmouth them or anything, but let's just say I was very naive in knowing like anything about the comic book industry. So I mean, that's probably exactly how it usually worked. But Saturday AM is obviously completely different because we just came out of nowhere. We are making up our own rules. We wanted to basically have we wanted to have Shonen Jump, but not just created by people from Japan, but created by everybody in the entire world. So that's what Saturday AM is. And obviously with that and having control over all of our series, like kind of allowed us to, have a lot of wiggle room and the stuff that we do. But when Antarctic Press, I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm not sure if you know what Gold Digger is. Gold Digger was, I think it's probably their top title. The guy that drew that and a lot of their series, his name was Fred Perry. They were very popular, I think in the early 90s, maybe late 80s is when they started. I'm not sure. But, I pitched them Chicken Fight, which is also on my Gumroad. After 10 years, obviously I decided to, just re-release it as, one big ebook. So you can, find out exactly what that is. But it's about this guy who gets his girlfriend pregnant and he's happy, but he doesn't want his baby to grow up in a town filled with giant evil chickens. And he has 9 months to defeat them. and it's pretty fun. It's, very action packed. It's my, what if Scott Pilgrim meets One Piece? That's basically like the feel that I was going for. And it was completely different trying to get with that company than it was, Saturday AM. When Saturday AM came out, I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. Oh man.
Okay.
When Saturday AM came out, obviously, social media was getting a lot bigger. So, social media is a huge part of, our marketing strategy, getting stuff out there on a regular basis, all that jazz. Whereas, also when, portfolios and, we have contests, we have a lot of other stuff because of the internet. But when it came to Antarctic Press, I actually did it the normal route, like I guess the normal route from back then, which is I drew manuscripts, I got them photocopied, and then I sent them off to a bunch of different companies. And Antarctic Press was actually the first one that got back to me, and they said, "We love this. This is awesome," and they got it published. It was a really cool experience. But at the exact same time, it was definitely an eye opener as to like what the industry is like. And there's not a lot of money in it, especially in the very beginning. So I mean, it was definitely fun, a great experience to have. But that was Antarctic Press, and since then to now, I've worked with Oni Press. More like work for hires. They'll say, "Hey, we really like you." The first job I think I had is I colored like flats, not like, straight up color, like, everything. But I did a lot of flats for a few titles. I saved up money actually to buy my wife's engagement ring when that happened. So that was a fun time. But after that, I've worked on a title called Lemonade Code, which was this guy named Jared Pratt. He's, awesome dude. He actually wrote this story about this hyper genius, the super genius guy that like created a machine that can create any lemonade flavor. So if you wanted like a hamburger lemonade flavor, you could have that. Like it was a very fun kid book. It was very scientific as well. If you ever get a chance to look it up, I highly recommend it. It's called Lemonade Code. But because of that, I was doing that, I was doing Hammer with Saturday AM. And throughout this entire time, I was still on the radar of a lot of different editors at Oni Press. And, I wanted to have covers where I could just draw a cover. And, it's not a lot of money, but like, it's still a decent enough money to just do a cover. Like usually it kind of ranges, I guess, depending on how popular you are and also what company you're at. It can range between $300 and $500. So I mean, it's a bill to do a cover. So
Okay.
like I definitely want to do a lot of covers, and I remember I was asking to see if I could do some Rick and Morty covers, and they came to me and said, "Hey, would you like to do a Rick and Morty book?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." So they sent me the scripts. I was working on volume 3 and 4 of Hammer at that time. And by the time I was done with the script of Rick and Morty, I think I finished like a month before I had to finish up volume 4 of Hammer. So that was a really tight deadline, doing that like all throughout the night, all throughout the day. And like, it was insane. But yeah, I mean, the difference I would say is at Saturday AM, like it's a lot more hands-on. Our entire process, we don't really have a lot of people. We have a lot of people now compared to the very beginning, obviously, but we're all doing this because we love it. We all like know that we can make this into what it will eventually be. We're putting our all into it, and because we own part of it, like it's obviously a lot more of a like pet project, I would say, but like obviously we're making it a lot bigger than that. Like we have so many good things on the horizon. I'm flabbergasted that it's gotten to this point, and it's been 10 years. So like, I'm just really glad that things are, starting to work out, but it's definitely an uphill battle when it comes to working with other companies. I mean, it's basically just, here you go, here's the money, do the thing.
You're right. I got you.
When it comes to Saturday AM, you're just like, you're doing it because, there's definitely a horizon in the future for sure.
Oh man, that's so wonderful, man. To hear you just speak about this, man, I can, I hear your passion in it. I know you. This is not something that you guys take lightly. Lightly. None of you guys. Like I said, I met a few of you guys, and you got all of your hearts are in this completely. Yeah. And I know y'all guys want this, Saturday AM to be successful. I just see it every time I get a chance to talk with one of you guys at a Comic-Con or an event. You're so happy about what you're doing. You love the work, and it's just amazing. It's infectious, because then I get excited because you guys are so excited. So I just love being around, everybody there at Saturday AM. It's just a wonderful feeling. So now you said you got some things on the horizon. There's a little bit of things that I kind of know about, and and I want to see happen. I think you know what I'm talking about. And if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the award-winning books there Saturday AM, and there's been some talks about different things and some things moving into. Since I know a little bit about it, I'm not gonna spoil it or jinx it or anything. But that would be when this happens, because we're gonna put it out there. When this happens,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'll be so wonderful. So I'm going to ask this. So how long or how far in the distant future do you see what we're talking about happening? Is it close? Is it? I mean,
well, I mean, to be brutally honest with you, I'm not really sure. Timeline wise, there. As long as I've been in the industry, I know that these things are, they take a very long time for, a lot of people that, have a lot of money as well. I mean, we've been around for 11 years now. We're on our 11th year. But it's still like, time needs to like, essentially just pass before like we get to that point. So there's a lot of things that are still, not just that, but a lot of other things are in the horizon. Like, so for instance, we have, our card game that's, I think about to hit stores at some point. I know that we've been promoting that a lot, in which case, if you guys go to our Instagram, you can, I think there's a contest of some sort where you can actually draw your own artwork on one of our cards that'll be coming out. So that's something to keep in mind. It's really cool. What else do we have? We have, obviously some merch. This is actually my my sweater that came out. I think this came out actually last year, if I'm not mistaken. I got it recently, and I was like, "This is awesome!" So, I mean, we have a lot of really cool things like that. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I would assume we're going to be doing a lot more conventions throughout the year. I know that Fred, the CEO, has talked about trying to do that. So all in all, what I can say is definitely this month coming up, or obviously, throughout this month, it is only the 13th. We have some more announcements coming. So definitely keep an eye out for all of those. Once they all, come out, obviously we can talk more about
Right.
everything. But I'm really excited. I really am.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. Are you guys gonna do the summer of manga again this year?
Yes. So Summer of Manga is a staple. We will be doing that every single year. I believe we're also going to be going back to what we used to do a few years ago called March Art Madness. Excuse me. March Art Madness is, in case you don't know, it's kind of like March Madness where there's 64 teams, basketball, 64 teams, college basketball, if I'm not mistaken. And they all compete until the winner is, announced. And March Art Madness, instead of it being just in the United States, is actually all around the world. And it's 64 artists. And every single week, everybody gets a prompt to draw like something. So for instance, one of the prompts would be like superheroes. The other one would be video games. So everybody that's in the superhero block would have to draw something in relationship to superheroes. So you can have Superman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, like whatever, but like you're just drawing an awesome picture of them. Maybe they're fighting, maybe they're just posing, whatever the case may be. And then same thing for video games. Maybe you're drawing Link or Final Fantasy or, whatever.
Okay.
But basically every single week, they'll put up the images, and then all around the world, people get to vote for their favorite image. And then whoever wins gets to go to the next level. And then like the next week you get another prompt, and all of that is done to basically just make sure that the artists that want to be with us or want to do anything with us, like they understand, hey, this is a hard business. You're going to have to, put a lot of stuff out, not just for us, but like for any other company that you're going to be with. I mean, you have deadlines, you got, a lot of things that are, going to be coming on your plate. So this is kind of like a test run to say, hey, can you make it on this level? And at the very end, there's usually some type of prize. Maybe it's a cash prize, maybe it's merchandise. There's something. We usually get sponsored for March Art Madness. But after March Art Madness, we do Summer of Manga, like pretty much immediately after that. And Summer of Manga, for everybody that doesn't know, you get to pitch us a short story. We usually have some guidelines, like, we'll say, what is your pitch? And usually we're like looking for this meets that. So for instance, if I was pitching Chicken Fight, I would say Scott Pilgrim meets One Piece. And then I would have a paragraph or a sentence or, whatever, basically explaining the entire story. And then after that, if I got approved to go to the next level, I would have an editor talk to me. They would say, hey, we want to give you 15 or 10 or however many pages to do this. And then I would, basically have that deadline to finish up X amount of pages, as well as also PNGs of my character posing and, all this other stuff. And then we would promote all of that until the Summer of Manga issue comes out. And they usually comes out, if I'm not mistaken, either in July or August. Back in the day, it used to be every other week. So like it was, we were, if I'm not mistaken, I think before I joined, Summer of Manga actually came out bi-weekly. Like it was, I mean, it's impressive that, this is the reason why we have 160 some issues.
Right.
So, I mean, it's pretty impressive, but Summer of Manga will be doing that this year. And I believe we're also going to be opening up March Art Madness again.
Okay, man, you guys really do have a lot going on this year, man. That's absolutely wonderful, man. And I love the fact that you guys there just don't kind of hand out trophies, so to speak. That's not the right word, but you actually see if people can handle it. Because some people they may be disillusioned. They might, oh, I can draw, I can write, so I can just, do this. I can be. And there's more to it than that. And so by setting those deadlines, seeing if you can really make it, if this is, because your heart's got to be in it. You got to be willing to do a whole lot. So, and if not, then you not saying give up, but you may have to reevaluate how you thought that this process went. So that's cool because you're actually teaching people how to keep moving forward. That is so wonderful. See, that's something else about You
Yeah, it's
guys
kind of
are.
like we're molding our the next generation that we want to be at Saturday AM. So, all the artists that, we discover through these mechanisms, we want to keep them if they would like to work with us. We like, hey, you did a really good job on this. Like, could you do another short story for another issue? Or, could you help us, do something else for another book? I believe for the last few Summer of Mangas, the winners of Summer of Manga were actually published inside of our Saturday AM annual.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, yeah, it's a great opportunity for sure.
That's so wonderful, man. You guys over there Saturday AM are so great, man. I really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Because if nobody knew, they know now how busy you guys are over there Saturday AM
Yes.
to come hang with me in the Square Table Studios, man. I really appreciate that. Um, Congratulations once again to your young son. Um, that's great. I know he's gonna hopefully he'll follow in his daddy's footsteps or go on to do something even greater.
We'll
Uh,
see. We'll see.
so, yeah. So once again, tell everybody where they can find you and your works and Saturday AM.
Yeah. So you can find me on all social media at Jey Odin, which is JeyOdin. If you look in the bio of my social media, you'll actually see a Gumroad link that goes to my online shop where you can, buy a course on how to draw, the basics of drawing. I also have a 4-step guide on how to create comics. I also have a Patreon where currently I'm mentoring a few people, for $50 a month. That will probably go up at some point. So, definitely get it when you can. I'm mentoring people. This one guy I'm mentoring actually, to draw comics for Summer of Manga potentially in the future. So, I mean, I've been doing that. What else? You can definitely go to saturday-am.com, and you can buy volume 5 of Hammer. This is, an awesome book. I'm very excited. I'm very proud of what this looks like, how it came
Oh
out.
wow.
Definitely go check it out if you guys, haven't already. You can buy that actually Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, everywhere. So, but yeah, that's who I am. And again, Jey Odin, JeyOdin. You'll see glasses and a smiley face. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I think I got a picture of that you drew. No, what that's Stud. That's Stud there
oh
that you
yeah,
drew.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
basically.
That's so cool. All right, Jey Odin, thank you so very much. Really appreciate you being here with us. And as always, we'll see you in Parallel Universe.
Take care.
We're good, man.
Nice.